was going to do an intro, but I decided, listen to the sound of this knife. I'll fucking cut you with it. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and I watched a movie tonight. Little wild hair under my ass. Made me want to put all my stuff together, do a little movie review. Even though my back hurts, can't sit down, can't lay down, can't do nothing. I figured I could watch a movie and then I could review it for you. And that movie is Vacancy from 2007, starring Luke Wilson and Kate Beckinsale, and it's even got Ethan Embry as like a kind of a small minor role, I guess you would say. But it's funny. I worked at the theater when this movie came out, and I always remember there never being anybody in the theater. And I don't remember there ever being buzz about it, but I did happen to watch it myself while I worked at the theater. And I remember enjoying it for the most part. It wasn't your typical, scenario. I mean, I know there's been movies like Psycho where people go to a motel, they check in, but they don't check out. And then you've got the motel hell and stuff like that. But there's actual depth to these characters because Amy and David are coming from their parents' like a silver anniversary, and it's several hours away from where they live. They're on their way back, and they're actually, I guess, preparing to get a divorce because they lost their child and they just can't cope with it. So they think the best thing to do is to just separate and cut ties and go try to start another life somewhere else. Like, it doesn't straight up say that. There's little inklings of it. Like, you see the picture of the child, and anytime they mention somebody named Charlie, drama happens. So he decides to take the beaten path off the highway, and they kind of get lost and start to have a little bit of car trouble. Raccoon jumps out in front of the car, goes, "Hey, fuck you," and then runs away into the woods. And from there, they pull along and find a gas station that has no gas. Looks like it hasn't been visited since 1994. So they pull into the gas station, and Ethan Embry, who you might know from several 90s films. So they pull into the gas station, and the mechanic comes up, or the gas station attendant, and he tries to help them out with their car, and David tries to give him a couple bucks for his help, and he kind of tries to give them directions, and they go on about their way. Well, a couple miles down the road, the car breaks down again, and they're like, well, shit, we can't just sit here. So it's either we do just sit here, or we walk back and try to get help at the gas station. So they walk back, try to get help at the gas station. There's nobody around. There's a little seedy motel, and just so happens that there's a vacancy.
Vacancy.
You see what I did there? So they check in, and then as soon as I walked in and saw this guy with his glasses and his denim jacket and his mustache, I'd have walked my ass back to the car, because I mean, I would have had to go at least get cell phone service and call Chris Hansen and tell him to come have a talk with this guy. Plus, when they walk into the hotel, you hear so he plays it off like he's watching a scary movie, which he is. He's watching a scary movie about some people that were filmed being murdered in this hotel that he then goes and edits and sells to truck drivers and other sick fucks on the road. They come down this road that's off the highway that they should have stayed on. Now, that's like literally the only dumb decision they kind of make, aside from possibly staying at the hotel or motel. It's not a hotel, it's a motel, because there's only one floor. Hotel's got, I think that's the difference. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking rocket scientist. Point is, you're all sitting in your chairs watching this movie thinking, what are you doing, stupid? Just walk back to the car, which, that's what I say. But, it's 2 miles away. It's fucking late at night. He's been driving for God knows how long while old Xanax and fucking Percocet or whatever the hell cocktail she took. She'd been sleeping for 3 hours is pretty much what I'm getting at. So they check into this motel, and it's as gross as you might imagine. They might have checked into the wrong motel because they find some videotapes that are kind of graphic in nature. And it turns out, the closer you look at these videotapes, it's the same room that they're standing in. It's the same room that they are standing in, which is the honeymoon suite. So it's like, oh shit. And I forgot to mention, before they find these videotapes, there's some banging on the walls reminiscent of The Strangers. As a matter of fact, there's a lot about this movie that is very reminiscent of The Strangers, because it came out around the same time, and this is like one of those backwoods type movies, even though it's like in a motel, but it's like a small town, and I guess everybody knows everybody, and they're all fucked up in the head, and they like to kill people and film it and then sell it to passerbys that are fucked up in the head as well. They find themselves in this situation after going through all this shit that you sort of find out through watching the movie. Did I mention there's fucking spoilers? I mean, god damn it, the movie came out in 2007. It's not my fault if you can't bother to fucking go rent a movie from Redbox or whatever, because Blockbuster went out of business. And that's what the problem is, everybody, because I can't help but notice, not to go on a little side rant, but I can't help but notice whenever I do turn on these streaming services, there's always like 1,400 movies on there that just have the most uninteresting box art. You can't pick it up. You can't turn it around and look at the back of it to see if there's pictures on it. That way, when you take it home and watch the movie, you can say, hey, look, there's this part of the movie. Used to do that with VHS tape. It's just really hard to find movies to watch because the cover arts and stuff are so terrible, and the synopsises, the way they write them, are just uninteresting. And a lot of these sites, for some dumbass reason, don't have actual trailers. And when they do have so-called trailers, it's just like a clip of the movie. And it's really hard to judge whether you should watch something just by watching a clip of it. Back to our regularly scheduled program. This unhappily married couple find themselves in a strenuous, tense situation, whereas they're stuck in a hotel where people are trying to kill them. And I know what you're thinking. Just go out the bathroom window. Well, guess what, bitch? It's nailed shut. And you're thinking, oh, we'll go out the front door. It's like, well, they're standing out there with knives, and you can't go anywhere else because they're standing out there with knives. And then the phones don't work, and they're standing out there with knives. And possibly a gun, because there was guns hanging on them. Jesus Christ, that almost fucked me up. Don't worry about that. Worry about the fact that they're pretty much stuck. They're 2 miles from their fucking car. It's in the middle of the goddamn night. They don't know where the fuck they are. There's a bunch of fucking hillbillies running about trying to kill them. Well, they're more rednecks than they are hillbillies. I mean, there's a slight difference. I don't want to get into the fucking semantics right now, but basically, the bunch of rednecks trying to kill them so that they can film it and sell it to passerbys on the road that are fucked up in the head. God damn it, are you paying attention? I'm trying to tell you about this movie. So lo and behold, somehow they get a hold of 911 for real, and it's not like a fake 911 where they say, oh yeah, we're on something, blah, 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 and they know your name, and you never even gave them your name, that type shit. Well, they get the real 911 call. And a sheriff shows up, and they're hiding, and they're hiding, and they're hiding, because, you don't really know who to trust. The mechanic's a fucked up guy. The hotel guy's a fucked up guy. The guy hiding in the wall's a fucked up guy. And then there's a truck that pulls up. Will you just sit over there and be quiet? Okay? Got the secretary over there in the peanut gallery trying to give me pointers. But there's a guy that pulls up in a truck, and they're like, oh, thank God, maybe this person will help us. No, he's there to buy the videotapes in bulk so that he can go sell them to other fucked up people that are driving down the road that like to watch fucked up shit in their spare time. Do people like my movie reviews?
Is it people like My movie reviews.
Holy shit. This is why I stopped doing this, everybody. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Cody Leach one time told me to review a movie, you don't have to sit there and spell the whole goddamn thing out. Well, kind of, yeah, I do, because I feel like none of you have ever seen this, and I'd rather tell you about it before you go watch it. That way you know what to expect. My God, so a sheriff pulls up, and they're like, oh my God, help us, help us. But like I said, at first they're like, wait a minute, maybe he's not on the level. So they find out, oh, maybe he is on the level after he goes in a room and discovers the same shit they discovered, and he comes out like, and they think they're going to get the fuck out of there, but nope. They've done disassembled his automobile. So there's no getting out, and he tries to fix it, but then no. But like, instead of me telling you step by step what happens, I just wanted to tell you that like this movie is crazy because nobody ever talks about it, and it kind of makes me sick that nobody ever talks about it. And then the fact that I haven't seen it for possibly 15 years for whatever reason, until I realized that she hadn't seen it, and then I found it on Blu-ray because over the time I kind of did become a quality snob, and I didn't want to watch the old regular DVD. Now that I've watched it on Blu-ray, I'm hoping the fucking 4K will come out, possibly in a steelbook. Nobody ever talks about this movie, so I don't even know if Screen Gems remembers that they possibly own the rights to this. Does Screen Gems even still exist? Basically, this movie is about two people that are already going through a struggle in the fact that they lost their child, and they're trying to hold it together just until they can get home and sign those papers and never have to look at one another again. But then they're presented this really, really tough situation, life or death situation. And, it really brings a fucking couple together when you're going to fucking die. So it's got that going for it. It's a very unique movie. Like it does kind of blend certain other aspects from certain other movies and certain other horror genres, but there's nothing really quite like this particular movie. Actually, apparently there is a sequel, and it's got really bad reviews. So, but anyway, nobody ever talks about Vacancy, and I would have to get it a solid 9 out of 10 just because of the fact that it is so unique. Other than the blend of horror that it has, there's no movie that thought to take two A-list actors for the time and put them in a fucking horror movie. And it happened to be a good horror movie that is well directed. Like the lighting, like there's a scene towards the beginning of the movie where he's just standing out there in the middle of nowhere and you can see the stars. And now I don't know if it's added in post, but it looks incredible. The shot composition, it's a really nice movie to look at. Anyway, long story short, I'm running out of time here, people. Running out of time. My back hurts. I got to go do my exercises. This movie is the pure definition of underrated, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I don't know where you can catch it streaming, but you can find it. It's weird. I bought this at Big Lots for $3, and then apparently the cashier never put it in our bag, so when we got home, it was never in there. And then I picked up another. I Know What You Did Last Summer, When a Stranger Calls, and Vacancy. And I only bought it for Vacancy because who gives a shit about those other two movies? This has been Drewski McGillicuddy. I really appreciate you watching, and I'm sorry about the Hillbilly videos. Maybe I'll cut that shit out now that I've got this fire lit under me and I want to maybe start reviewing movies again. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya if I ever decide to do this ever again. Oh my God. Oh, I'm out of practice. Yeah. Well, we will see you next time. And please, make sure you click that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. Sorry about the Hillbilly videos. You can watch them if you want to. If you don't, go fuck yourself. I say like, subscribe, share the video. I don't know. Just go check out some of the other stuff. There's other movie reviews down there, or just random nonsense if that's your thing. I gotta go past my bedtime.